But he's probably going like, why do we have two travel companies and two live stream companies on the same panel? And we called this our service panel because it's really awkward, I think, when you have just two of the same company. Like, there's not enough conversation to go around. So we're making conversation here. There's value in the services that you all offer. And so we're going to do some introductions. But I'm sorry to those that are online only, because we've got free travel scales, but we also have Sepio socks. And Sepio has made custom socks for the unconference. You're giving me a pair? Let's go. For the last couple years. So super cool, very comfortable socks. So if you were here, you would get these, but you're not, and I'm sorry. But you're giving away socks to the first 50 people in the chat that register through a link, and our team will throw the link in there as we get going. So that's awesome. All right, let's just go down the line. We'll start down here with Brady and go to down the line introductions and company and what you do.
I'm the CEO of One Room Streaming. Well, our customer-facing team is in Houston, but the technology comes from New Zealand, which is why I sound kind of funny. You might not have seen me before. I'm less than a year in the industry, but I'm old enough to have been in quite a few industries, and I think this is actually my most enjoyable stint in my career. This industry is full of opportunity and does wonderful things, so I'm enjoying it. Thanks for the invite for this.
All right, and my name is Jeff Glassy. I'm with Sepio Guard. A little bit of a background about me. So I've actually fairly new to the funeral profession. I worked for the Salt Lake County Sheriff's Office. I was in law enforcement for 20 years. I retired. I just found that I really enjoyed helping people. And as I came into this profession, it's the same mentality of just really reaching out and helping those that come around. And one other little plug. So I'm also a dude dad.
Let's go, dude dads. I'm a girl dad,
yeah.
So I don't know anything about being a dude dad.
Yeah, no, I have 4 boys, just like Jamie over there. And one of the proudest moments of my life was when my daughter-in-law rolled her eyes when my son just gave the best dad joke. You know, I thought, wow, I've passed it on. So anyway, so that's a little bit about me. Again, I'm with Sepio Guard. We're the Away from Home Assurance company.
Awesome. Dave.
Yeah, Dave McComb, little different introduction this time. My beliefs similar to you. God's first, my wife's second, my family's third, and my country's after that.
There you go. Everybody else can figure it out after.
Yeah, you can figure out the rest. But anyways, yeah, once again, honored to be here with all these smart people and in front of all these people online. This is pretty awesome.
Thank you.
I'm Kyle Fogarty and co-founder of Memory Share. We're out of Dallas. We've been working with funeral homes since 2012. And like One Room, full service streaming company, and pumped to be here as well. This is my favorite event that I've been to, I think.
Let's go. Come on, man. This is your first time, too, so thank you. And you've been a great supporter of Connecting Directors, and we get to do some fun content with you in our Friday email, which is fun. And so here's something that's cool. Like, I remember I think it was like 2008 or 9 was my first NFDA convention, and I feel like there were like 12 different live stream companies at that point. Like, I don't know that any of them are still here. Like, live stream has been this conversation that I feel like it's just like ebbed and flowed, and it was like, oh, well, we'll just do Facebook Live, and then Facebook starts deleting live videos after so many days, and like that's not a good solution. And like, I feel like there's just been this conversation, and so I want to start with you, Kyle. Let's just get into like what this wasn't one of the questions, but I'm going to ask you both, like, why is live streaming even important?
I have filmed a lot of things. I used to work in the film industry and filmed a lot of stuff that didn't matter, like commercials or, film some car or whatever. But funerals really matter. And there's things that are said at services that will never be said again, or stories that are shared that will never be said about that or have never been heard before. And as time has gone on, I think that preserving these these memories for people is crucial. And we hear over and over how a lot of times, families, it's a blur for them that day. And so they get a chance to relive or rewatch the service later. And it's a really, really important piece for healing. My own mother watched her mom's service for weeks afterwards, at least once a week as she was healing from losing her mom. So I think about that a lot. Why should services be recorded? If a service exists, it should be recorded. It's a really important thing for everybody that's there. And we're seeing a lot now that the physical attendance is being surpassed by the digital attendance. And in my head, you are pretty much cutting off the chance for 50% more people to not only see what your funeral home offers, but to participate and be there with the family. So if a service occurs, and I'm probably biased, it needs to be recorded. It should be recorded. Yeah.
I get Brady. You want?
Yeah, I think if you see value in holding a funeral service, then you should see value in expanding the number of people that can be a part of it, right?
That's important.
So that's primary. And then secondarily, the industry talks a lot about, and we've talked a lot about in these panels, the decline of revenue per case. This adds real value to the family, and you can charge for that every single time. And there's a lot of peripheral things around it that actually improve the business. So there's a lot of good common sense business benefits in streaming everything.
So is the recording of the service more and on demand more valuable than the live stream itself? And I want to pose that question to Dave as well, because Dave, you've operated funeral homes, so you have experience with offering families live streaming. So can I have you answer that question first?
Sure. And live streaming for us was not chosen very often. I don't think the options were available that are there today, but we did have live streaming at least once a week. And for people that are out of the country, it was fantastic, so they could see the service.
That's great. Okay, let's talk about out of the country. Jeff, what challenges face funeral homes when they've got to get a body from A to B and it's out of the country? And what are some of those challenges for not only the funeral home but the family as well?
So that's actually kind of the whole core reason why away from home assurance is a thing, is people can pass away from home, especially we'll talk about out of the country, right? There's a lot of language barriers. Funeral home directors, funeral homes understand that it can turn something that's really simple, like a prearrangement, into a really complicated scenario, right? So that's why away from home assurance is important to be in every funeral home. If you don't have an away from home assurance membership program with your funeral home, you really should tap into that. So I mean, we all understand those complications. They're going to be language barriers, time zones, communication. And you're already dealing with families that they're struggling because they've had a loved one pass away. Now they've passed away out of the country or away from home. As a funeral home with an away from home insurance program, you can rest assured that one phone call to Sepio Guard or an away from home assurance is going to handle all of that. We're going to take care of all of the logistics to get that person back. Now, I'm going to go off script a little bit here, right? So, and Bryce is one of the co-founders of Sepio Guard, forgive me, but one of the things that we pride ourselves on at Sepio Guard is working with funeral home directors, funeral homes. It's not really black and white with us all of the time. This is kind of what I've noticed. I've been in this industry or this profession for 5 years now, but this is a very small, connected network. Just over 5 years, I've gotten to know so many people, and we run into each other all of the time. There are funeral directors that are the same. They know people in different states. They know funeral homes. They know other funeral directors. And these funeral directors, they want to work with these families. We're not going to take this away from those funeral directors and say, hey, I mean, we can do that, and we we pride ourselves on that, and that's what we do, is we take care of these situations. However, there are some funeral directors that are like, I want to be involved. I know somebody in, we'll say, Oklahoma, that owns a funeral home. I want to work with that funeral home. And we work with those families and those funeral homes on a one-on-one basis. Each family, each situation is different to us, and we're not black and white. We work with those families. So that's really important for us. That's just part of the experience, because really that's why we're all in here to do this, is we're working with tragedy. We're working with heavy things, and we're happy to step in, and we're happy to take care of that. We're also happy to let you as a funeral director be the hero. We can be in the background, and we'll take care of those things, but you be the hero.
It's great. It's great. Dave, I want to come to you. What's something that makes your travel plan unique to funeral service?
Well, then what makes ours unique is in 1978, Inman Shipping started. So it's been, I don't know, a long time since that started. And Bob Inman was one of the innovators in this industry, and he had a plan way back when called the Omega Plan. And the Omega Plan didn't sound very good, so we changed the name. Kind of sounds like calling it death insurance rather than life insurance. So we changed it to Travel Plan by Inman. And Inman controls the entire process here, controls the pickup of the body, whether it's here in the United States or in any other countries. In the United States, we have 750 service providers and another couple hundred outside the United States. So when somebody dies, we have a relationship with who is going to be picking up the body. We have a contractual relationship, and they are to follow standards that we give to them. And those standards were set up by Verney Fountain, who is a consultant and a professional witness in cases in the funeral service that involve embalming. So we have his blessing on our standards, and we also have Scott Gilligan, who used to be the NFDA counsel. He also took a look at the legal and approved the legal in ours. And so we have Eagles Wings Air that takes care of the logistics of shipping the body by air. So we are in control of the entire process. It doesn't, no part of it is sent out to third parties. And then lastly, what makes us different is our plan is backed up by insurance. That's the same insurance company that insures doctors and dentists.
Love it. Okay, I'm going to ask a question that I feel like is applicable to everybody. So, what is the best way to offer your services? So, Dave, you talked about training and the amount of time you spent training your staff. I imagine part of that was the arrangement process and conversating with families. So, from a live streaming perspective through Travel Plan, I'll let individually, we'll start with Kyle and just go down the line. What's the best way to offer your services to families for funeral homes?
There's been a few ways I've seen it successful, both post and pre-pandemic. It kind of depends on what you want for the funeral home. You know, do you want your traffic the most? Are you trying to generate a little revenue on each stream? We'll see it as a line item. So, you know, you can mark it as $300 and then the family knows exactly what it costs. You can put it in a memorial package, put it in your better and your best package. That's been really successful as well. And the other one, there's a lot of our directors now, though, that have completely, they record as many as they can because they want that traffic, and they're seeing the traffic that's coming to the site. And I could really go on about that. Maybe we'll circle back about the marketing piece. But those are the ways that I see it. And there's also a culture shift, you know, like Dave's saying about training. Hey, this is what we do here. This is part of what we do here. And if you don't want us to put it online, that's no problem. We'd like to record it. You know, make sure that this can be captured for you. If you change your mind later, great. So that's how we see it. You know, offer it for everybody, win your market, or a line item, and yeah, go along that way.
All right, Brady, I'll go to you to answer that on the live streaming side, and then Dave, then Jeff.
Yeah, sure. I think some of the more successful I've seen recently have actually put it into the CPL. They've built it into their core price list and empowered their funeral directors to understand the benefits to the family. And then it's an opt-out process. And I can back that with some decent-sized experiment that was run, I guess, with one of our larger customers, talking hundreds of sites. A good chunk of them used to sell every single service with a stream, is sort of mandated, and they did 6 streams a month. The other part, they didn't sell them at all. They gave them away. Exactly the same company. The other group was, again, mandated to do it with training, and they did exactly the same amount of streams, but they sold every single one of them, right? And so putting it into the core price list and then showing a little bit of the value and then having the customer, the consumer, pull it out is by far the easiest way to go about selling.
Great perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. All right, Dave, what's the best way to offer a travel plan?
Best way to offer travel plan is through our funeral service colleagues around the country. Also, the cemetery folks that have prearrangements. A lot of small cemeteries don't. Government cemeteries, church cemeteries, they don't. But we work with cemeteries that offer their plans to their communities, and through just funeral directors and through third-party marketers. That's typically how it's been done for quite a long time. And as far as online goes, there are online sales of it, but it's always through a funeral director or through one of our people that distribute our product.
Jeff?
And same with Dave, right? So we work with prearranged agents every day. That's actually what I do at Sepio Guardas. I'm the director of training, and as I'm looking at my schedule this last couple hours for tomorrow, I've got 10 or 15 trainings tomorrow with agents. So what we do is we really reach out to those pre-need agents. Dave mentioned cemeteries are huge right now. Cemetery, they don't really have this, they don't have the travel plan, the away from home assurance idea behind them. When in fact, when people are purchasing these spaces, of course they want to be back here at your cemetery. So why not include this away from home assurance every single time? So that's really what we focus on, is your pre-need agents, training. Of course, we do have some online sales, very small, but we put in technology. Those agents have an app that they can sell through this app. And when they're meeting with these families, again, it's just really about including it every single time.
It's good. Okay, we have a live stream specific question, and then I want to get back to a question for all of you because it's been kind of a topic. But are there any ways to ensure a stable connection for live streams in rural areas? I don't know. You guys, I went to Kyle to start this off, so Brady, we'll go to you first.
I mean, it's called the internet, right? So no promises, no promises there. And I think the answers are all telco answers. So Starlink has proven to be pretty useful if you dig on Tesla, on Elon. Very, very strong cases for that around the world. But I think the real answer's got to be, what's your backup? Because any internet connection can cut out at any time. And so, we put a lot of effort into having SD cards in all the cameras so that it immediately just records everything anyway, and you can upload it afterwards. So at least you've captured that keepsake properly. Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, nothing really to add there, but Brady just nailed it. As long as you get a recording, it's going to be fine. We've had calls with people that can barely be on the phone while they're in a brick church in a rural area, and it's like, I promise you're not going to be able. The stream is not going to work. Like I can barely even hear you. We cannot push video. Just record it. We'll take care of this later. And then you should be ready for that. Directors know their locations a lot better than, we do as One Room or Memory Share. So if you're going to a stone church in a cornfield somewhere, do not tell the family it's going to be live.
Yeah.
We're going to record this. We'll take care of this later.
Okay. Great answers. AI is something we've talked about both days heavily, and I don't know that there's any facet of death care that isn't going to be impacted, affected, benefit, whatever from AI. So, Brady, I'm gonna run it back to you. How does AI play a role in your space? And then I'm gonna just come down. We're gonna come right down the line, and everybody answer that question because I think it's applicable.
We've got a long answer to that one. It impacts it pretty hard, right? So, we've been doing this for about 15 years now. Actually, both of us have been doing this for 15 years. And most of the innovation over that time has been to improve the quality of the stream or to make make the life easy for a funeral director actually running the stream, make it as easy as possible. And I think we sort of we went as far as we could on that. AI recently helped us to the point where now all you need to do to set up the administration for a stream is type in the decedent's name. And when the service occurs, the cameras will go on and the cameras will go off at the end of the service. So it's, amazing. AI has enabled that. And so, the innovation that comes from the next phase that AI has enabled is around the video. So we think there's a lot of opportunity there. At the moment, the video is a keepsake, as Kyle was talking about. You keep it forever. Even if you've been in the service and you've witnessed it, you forget actually, or you don't know, you're in a fog actually what happened. So you look at it later on, it's a high value. So what we've realized is that over half, and again Kyle referenced this, over half of the people that actually see a stream are actually watching it after it's happened. So they're watching a video, not a live stream. AI is good with video. And so, we're taking that keepsake and completely reinventing it. So, bring it up to basically modern ways to consume it. So think Netflix, think Facebook Reels, think Instagram. People are used to seeing video in a different way. And so, we're putting a lot of effort into that. The problem with video as it stands today is that you get a copy of it on a thumb drive and you provide it to the immediate family. And the immediate family might watch it a couple of times, but no one else has got access to that. And the other thing is that when they watch it, it's a flat file. And so it's literally an hour, 20-minute long video that you need to sort of scroll through to try and get to the bits that you want it to get to. We're reshaping all of that. So now we're taking that hour and 20 and we're dividing it up into chapters so that you jump into the bits you want to go to. So the eulogies, the religious scripts that have been read, the tribute by Justin, the nephew, right? And you can see those chapters and just go straight to the bit that you want to watch. And then what that allows us to do is go, well, hang on, Justin's tribute was actually quite entertaining. And he tells a story about how the uncle, rode the horse down Main Street, wearing briefs in the middle of the night. And, that was an entertaining story. AI identifies all of that in our models. And so we can jump straight to 3 or 4 highlights in those videos, right? You take that one step further, there's 30 seconds inside Justin's tribute that you want to share with the world. And so we will be able to make those shareable through Facebook Reels, I think they're calling it now, on Instagram and socials, probably for the first time, taking those highlights and actually sharing them amongst the community.
That's cool. Do you offer that now?
So no.
Okay.
So that's been our roadmap for the last 10 months.
Okay.
And we're in testing on nearly all of that.
Awesome.
So it's coming soon, but that's AI all over it.
That's awesome. I have a follow-up question to that, but I want to stick with the AI conversation. Jeff, Dave, we'll start with Jeff. How is AI impacting travel plans? Is that possible?
I mean, we really implement technology, and we're adopting AI. What I see us doing with AI is being able to capture these pre-need agents, get them so that as I meet with them one-on-one, whether over Zoom or face-to-face, but AI can help to get them captured, to understand the importance of meeting with me, to go through this training, this process. At Sepio Guard, we adopt and we love technology and growth and innovation. And so, I mean, I just kind of like the future is, it's just wide open. And so we're excited to see what it's going to bring and capture.
AI, I see, is a great tool for handling lots of printed information. So when we deal with other countries, embassies, and so forth, they have a lot of documentation. Sometimes it's not in English. As we know, Grok or ChatGPT or Perplexity, you can download documents into those and search for certain phrases, words that's going to help you to find the answer quicker than having to read through regulations of some country that maybe you've never shipped a body from. So that is that's a big plus, because It handles voluminous amounts of information very quickly and points out things that would normally take you hours to do. Technology-wise, we love technology on the side of documents and the processing of a body, and making sure that the person gets from point A to point B, keeping everybody notified. We're incorporating QR codes. It's going to be on documentation. It's going to be on the outside of the container, and it automatically will make a impression and send an email to the people that are interested in the progress of the body from where the person died to where the person's going to be going to having a ceremony.
Good. It's good.
Same for us. We're doing features, and we think the shareable piece is a big deal. And then we're also working with it to better enhance captions. And yeah, you have a couple of moments when there's somebody who's deaf watching a stream, and all they see is picture, and we don't like that. So we've been working with AI. It's been accelerating features for us.
Okay. Love it. All right. I've got a question that everybody can answer, and then I've got a specific question for Brady. How can your services collectively enhance the pre-arrangement services? And Jeff, I'll start with you.
So, as somebody walks into the funeral home or is wanting to prearrange, ultimately, we know that what they're doing is they're wanting to get this peace of mind of knowing that everything will be taken care of, right? So, and it's kind of been a buzzword, I think, this conference, other than the omni-channel. Yeah. It's the experience, right? So we have this experience that people are walking in or calling or getting this set up. They want to have this experience in all aspects of their lives. Believe it or not, even in prearranging your own funeral. If you create this experience, it's important for these families and for these individuals who are pre-planning. So as someone walks in there, they're making this decision. I'm going to take care of all of these tough decisions so that my loved ones don't have to. They're going to be under stress. This is all going to be taken care of, right? Now, most of these prearrangements, unfortunately, are based on if somebody dies locally. So when your prearrangement starts talking about, hey, there's a couple things we can't predict, right? Number one is we can't predict when we die, but also we can't predict where we die. So as that comes up in this prearrangement, it just starts turning this into not just a service that the funeral home provides. We're now thinking outside the box. This pre-need agent is saying, hey, we've thought about all of the scenarios, and we know that people have passed away from home, and it has become a nightmare. Even though you've prearranged, you didn't take care of this very vital, important piece of what if I died away from home? A lot of people are away from home, right? So you look at all of us in this room right here, well, most of us are 75 miles or further from our homes. People are visiting their kids and their grandkids. People are going on vacation and they're traveling. But when the pre-arrangement experience adds this in and helps those families think, I never really thought of that, but I'm glad you've brought this up. You've now created an experience so that you're a trusted funeral home. This agent is talking about my family and all of the possible situations. So I would say that by offering this every single time, giving them the option to say no to the very best, enhances that experience so that the family can walk away knowing that their decision to prearrange is supported by this funeral home. I feel secure, I feel confident, and I'm supported in my decision as I leave this funeral home, knowing that no matter where, anywhere, anytime, no matter where I pass away, my family doesn't have to stress about those decisions.
Dave?
I would agree. It's in prearrangement. The reason why one prearrangement counselor might not sell as many monuments is another one, is maybe they just don't offer it. And that's the same way a travel plan, and here's a couple hints for travel plan sales. I'm going to even give them to my competitor here, and that's cool. But it should be included in your document. If you're serious about selling travel plans, it should be on the statement of funeral goods and services in the lower half. It should be there. And secondly, if you die locally, it's one price. If you die anywhere in the world, it's another price. And there's the two simple ways to offer this and to sell it and get results. And anyways, I think that's
a good answer. Offer it. Brady or Kyle, do you have a different answer than just offer live streaming as part of the pre-arrangement conversation?
Oh yeah. You
Okay.
wanna go first?
All right.
No, you go. I'm a gentleman.
I think that aside from when a death occurs, the only other time that somebody's really thinking about their own mortality is when they're watching a service.
Yeah.
Like, okay, great. Yeah, maybe I should plan mine. Or man, we really like what this funeral home did. Oh, they set up a bowling alley? This is cool. I want this for us. That's immense. And so being able to have these digital impressions not slip through the cracks is a huge deal, I think, within how pre-need can help, or I'm sorry, how live streaming can help pre-need.
Yeah. Excellent. Brady?
Yeah, absolutely. And just to get specific on it, people are watching these services for circa an hour. They feel engaged. They do interact with buttons on our screens.
Okay.
And so 1.5% to 2% of all people that view a service will actually request information about pre-need. So the good quality leads coming from every single stream. Yep.
Love it. All right. Kyle, do you have any examples of funeral homes grabbing or getting more market share because they're offering live streaming?
We did run some case studies, 2023 and 24, and it's anecdotal. It is tough to find that specifically, but a lot of those directors that we spoke with, one guy specifically in Kentucky had said, he's 2 locations, and he believed that live streaming attributed to 10% growth for him, and that was fantastic. We loved hearing that, and for his call volume, that was a really big deal. And in my mind, you can have this stream on your site, and every single person that's watching that is on your site and not your competitors. And this is a wonderful way to stay top of mind in your market.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, nothing scientific enough to quote, but certainly enough
all good.
feedback about the same sort of thing. Another aspect to gaining market share is awareness. Every single time someone registers for a stream with One Room at least and completes their details, you are building up a community of people in your broader digital base, right?
Yeah.
And so that awareness has been used effectively
Sure.
by churches and by large homes around to build up enormous databases of
Guys like me love that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I'll stick with you, Brady, real quick, and then Kyle, maybe you can piggyback off this. Ponyback. I don't know what that is. Piggyback. I think one of the hardest things with live streaming and sharing it socially, and you're talking about creating chapters and moments, is copyrighted music, because music is played throughout the service. So how are you addressing that in what you're doing? Is that a problem? Does AI help with that? Like, let's walk down that road.
Yeah, I believe it's been a question long before I turned up, but when I turned up, it was floated as something that needs to be looked into. So as an incoming CEO of one of the large platforms, I did get quite a lot of legal advice on that. And yeah, I mean, the good news is that the licenses that ICCFA and NFTA offer homes, they do cover you to play music in a service and to stream it, which is great. The grey area is and if you actually record any copyrighted music, no matter how you do it, you need a synchronization license, which my advice is it's quite a different kettle of fish. I don't know that people have those in our sector. So it's probably more grey. It's probably more an inconvenient truth than grey, actually. It's pretty clear. And so coming back to the roadmap, we kicked that off some time ago. And again, coming back to AI, we will now be muting copyrighted songs in our recordings and listing them in the subtitles as, muted for copyright reasons. This is the name of the song, and providing a playlist so that people can either choose to listen to that song right now, so they know why everyone's sitting listening, or access it for the bake or the barbecue later on. We provide them with a nice little playlist. So to be clear, we're not deleting any audio outside of the audio file for just the copyrighted songs that are sort of in breach.
That's great.
The difference is, I guess, I was talking to Curtis earlier. He was doing this 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Manually for every single one of them. We're applying automation across all of our services, 60,000 services to do that now. Yeah.
Which is great because that'll help with the shareability of it. Like that's really been the hard part of a live stream is the shareability factor of funeral homes can't do a whole lot with it. So
exactly. So that the immediate family gets a copy of it, as I said earlier. Now we can actually broadcast to people that there is a way to subscribe to get hold of all this quality keepsake.
Yeah.
And everybody can be relaxed about the fact that no one's going to be in breach.
Love it.
Yeah.
Kyle, you have anything to add? Beautiful.
Nailed it.
Okay, there's a simple question. I don't think that it's simple because this could go all over the map, but like what cameras work best for live streaming? I mean, sure, everybody could get Reds. That'd be dope, but I don't think that's...
That would be awesome. It varies like crazy. It's like the Wild West. I mean, it's anything you want. I think the way to get in, the bare minimum is mobile device. You could spend anywhere from $5 to $50,000 on a camera system, but I do believe that production value really matters. And the better the production value, the better your first impression, potentially the higher amount of pre-need leads, more trust online. You present yourself as you've got it together, and you're providing special services. So I do think cameras really matter. Whether you go fixed or mobile or both, I think you should have a combination of both, and then figure out the right ways to work with your churches as well. Like
they have
your
those
software should be able to
setups
integrate
most
with
of the time.
their system as well. So
So in our instance, when you go mobile, it's an Apple device. Is still the best for convenience in a whole lot of ways. But we're mostly fixed cameras in chapels, and there's a misconception around super high quality is what you need to be going for. You can't, per the internet discussion earlier, you can't be streaming 8K. 4K is even a challenge in a lot of cases. So it doesn't need to be super high resolution video stream, and so the cameras need to be thinking more about reliability for tenure. So we put in cameras that'll last 5 years plus. That's the thing that people need to be thinking about probably.
Love it. And I think you had a resource on understanding copyright music and funeral recordings, and we'll drop the link in there. You mentioned the synchronization license. How affordable is that? That was a question in the stream.
Was that how affordable is that? It's a long story, and I should really have disclaimed I'm not here to provide legal advice. I am in America, so I won't get into that. But the explanation to me was it's just not an option as an organization that does this for
Great. Awesome. Great panel. Thank you all for being here. Dave, thank you for cooking lunch yesterday and the free luggage scales.
How to do it.
Jeff, thank you for the custom unconference, one-of-a-kind Sepio socks.
Absolutely. Number one, socks in the death care space.
Yes, from a company that doesn't sell socks. So that's you're not a sock company.
How often do I get that question? So do you sell socks? I'm like, no, we don't sell socks.
Well, daggone it. There's a retirement plan for you.
I know, right? There we go.
Awesome. Well, cool. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Ryan.
All right.
Thanks,
okay.
Ryan.
Pleasure to be part of this.
Thanks.